Thundering, roaring engines riding steel. Hearts gleaming in the sun, we're riding steel. The rubber hits the road, I'm done doing what I'm told. I'm doing what I want, riding steel. Leather on my back, and the wind in my face. I'm one with the highway, and with the human race. This iron horse will separate the bull from what is real. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. We're riding steel.
First time I met you, I said to myself, there's a woman, boy, who could put a man through hell, but I don't care. I don't care anyway. I don't care, baby.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ridin' Steel. I'm here with Sherry Burgoyne, and we're down at the Eagles Club. Is it called the Eagles Club, or did they come up with a new name for it now? No?
No, it's still the Eagles Club.
It's the Eagles Club here in Augusta, Maine, downtown Augusta. And we're here for the annual Make-A-Wish ride. Today we're going to be meeting a family, the Lewis family, in fact. There's a young man by the name of Jaden. He is wheelchair bound, unable to communicate, with the exceptions of, I think, whimpers and things like that to let the family know what he's going through. But they were the recipients of a wish last year to go to Disneyland and apparently Six Flags as well. And Sherry does her research on this, so I'm sure she knows much more. Can you enlighten us just a little bit more?
Yes, Jaden was born with cerebral palsy, so he has been in a wheelchair his entire life. They almost lost him last year to pneumonia, some sort of pneumonia. I'll let the family explain that. But yes, they were the recipient from the Augusta Eagles for the wish. They went to Disney, like you said, and Six Flags and had a fabulous time. I think Jaden's favorite part was the plane ride.
Excellent, excellent. I heard Dumbo was quite a thrill for him, too, as well.
I bet he was.
Yeah, the Dumbo ride. Everybody likes the Dumbo ride.
Everybody likes
right?
Dumbo.
Absolutely. And also this ride is in memory of Tom Dorsey, whom we lost last year to a heart attack. And so, you know, there's a lot of meaning in this ride. They raise an average of about $10,000 a year on this ride, and so they're hoping to reach that mark today and maybe hopefully exceed it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, Sherry will be right back with the Lewis family to introduce you all to them, so stay tuned, folks. Please consider helping John and Linda Gregoire's vision for Hope JG become a reality. And join us for the ALS Ride 2016 in memory of Robert York. This ride takes place out of Raven's Roost on 103 Pleasant Street, Brunswick, Maine on June 26 at 11 a.m. Join us for Marley's Ride Sunday, May 15, 2016 at Pepper's Bar and Grill in Winthrop, Maine, and help support the Julie Kluge Camp for Girls. On June 4th, it's the 8th annual Chris Collin Ride, which takes place out of Bentley Saloon in Arundel, Maine. Please go to www.ridandsteel.com for details.
This is Sherry, and welcome back to Ridin' Steel. Today I am with the Lewis family, and Jaden was the recipient of last year's wish for Make-A-Wish. The funds raised for the wish were actually raised by the Augusta Eagles Club. Now, Sheena, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and introduce your family.
Okay, this is my husband, Kenny. This is my mom, Cindy. This is Jaden, Kenesha, and Kenzie.
Now, can you tell me where you're from?
We're from Oakland.
Oakland, Maine. You've lived there your whole life?
Yep.
Could you tell us a little bit about Jaden?
Yep, Jaden was born with cerebral palsy. He's 5 years old now. He's lived a lot longer than they ever thought he would. He has daily struggles. He can have up to 20 seizures a day. Last winter, he was treated for pneumonia 6 times. Winters seems to always be the hard months for him.
Now, when you were carrying Jaden, did you know that he had this condition?
No. He was born with the cord wrapped around his neck twice, and as I was pushing, the contractions were compressing the cord, which resulted in a global lack of oxygen to the brain.
And so the lack of the oxygen is what caused the cerebral palsy?
Yes, yeah.
So tell me, this is going to be a really hard question. What exactly went through your mind when the doctors told you what they thought his diagnosis might be?
I was scared. I was scared because I wanted to be his mom. So, I mean, I have my own religious beliefs, and I kind of put him back into God's hands, and I told God that I really want to be his mom, and I want that second chance. So we took the breathing tube out, and told God it was in his hands, and if he allows Jaden to live, which the odds were against him, then we would take care of him regardless of his disabilities.
So apparently he answered your prayers, because here he is.
He did.
You did. So tell me, what kind of support did you need to seek once you found out that you were going to be bringing Jaden home?
Well, they set us up with, he had a great team in Portland. He actually came home bottle fed. He didn't have his first seizure until he was 7 months old. Prior to leaving the NICU. He had him in the NICU, but they were controlled, and then once leaving, he went 7 months seizure-free. So then I kind of relived that all again at 7 months, because it was kind of a big slap of reality.
Right. So what type of support do you need on a weekly or monthly basis to care for him?
Well, Jaden, he gets lots of therapies all week. He gets PT, speech, OT. He has multiple specialists that he has to see. He sees a pulmonologist, a neurologist, a GI doctor, and frequent visits to his primary care.
So with all of these therapies going on, that must really, really take a lot of juggling in your schedule.
Oh, it does, and it almost feels like we don't have much time to be a family. We don't have that family time, because it's when he's awake, it's full of therapies and other people coming into our home, and we're fortunate enough to have great nurses that come in and help me take care of him, because I have the other 2 also.
How is his relationship with his siblings?
It's great. He's made them into the most compassionate kids I've ever met. They'll go in and lay with him in bed in the morning. They'll rub his face and kiss him, and they both have helped quite a bit. They'll walk in when his feeding pump's going off and shut it off for me. They're amazing, and it's all because of him.
Now the other 2, how old are they?
Well, Kenzie is just shy of 2 years old, and then Kenisha she'll be 4 in December.
It's amazing how grown up they are when it comes to Jaden.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your trip to Disney.
Disney, that was, it's hard to even express how amazing it was. From the plane ride, getting on the plane, and everybody was just so supportive. It gave us a huge break from the therapies and having people in and out of our home, and it felt like we were a family. We had every day it was us. It was incredible.
That's wonderful. Now, I am going to go ahead and ask you to switch places with Kenny. I'd like to ask Kenny a few questions, if that's okay. How are you this morning? So I'm going to ask the dad's point of view over here. So what's going through your mind as you're seeing this amazing group of motorcyclists getting together for a ride for the Make-A-Wish?
It's awesome. I think it's wonderful. Yeah.
So your son was our recipient last year.
Yeah. Yes.
And tell me about your take on the trip.
I think it was wonderful. He loved it. Every place as well, SeaWorld, all that. He loved it. It was awesome.
I'm going to ask you a couple of personal questions if you don't mind. So tell me, what is it like as a dad to see your son in this condition?
It's at first it was hard. I mean, we adapt to it. Of course, it's hard for him. Sometimes you don't know what he wants or what you can help him do in the day, but we get through it. We'll make it.
Well, with seeing the smile on your face, I mean, there's no question that you guys are a very incredibly tight-knit family, and I think that's wonderful. I mean, he's just as cute as he can be. So tell me the challenges that you may face with trying to communicate with him.
So, I mean, you can tell what he wants most of the time. I mean, sometimes he would cry. You'd have to try to soothe him. Mom does pretty good at that, of course, by soothing him. Sometimes, of course, he wants either daddy or mommy, but we get him settled down and relax when he gets in that situation.
So what is his favorite thing in the whole wide world? Does he like to watch TV? Does he like to be read to?
He likes being outside. He likes being outside in the sun, yeah. He loves it. More being outside than inside, so.
So does he like to go outside and maybe look at the birds or maybe go to the zoo or?
Well, we haven't been to the zoo. But we'll go out, we'll sit by a fire or something. He likes that. We did that just the other day.
It's actually one of my favorite things to do is sit by the campfire.
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, I can't tell you how happy I am to have met you and how blessed I think you are having a beautiful child like him and two little darlings over there. They are just as cute as they can be. And by looking around, it looks as though you do have an incredible support system for your family. So thank you so much for talking to me today.
I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming again and supporting us this year. Again, this run is being dedicated to Tom. We're going to all miss him a lot. I'd like to just take one moment of silence in remembrance of him. And when everybody comes back, we do have balloons and everything. And we're going to blow them up and let them all go, hopefully at the same time. And so we just take a minute, if we could, and just remember.
Have you ever wanted something that you wanted real bad? Have you ever wanted something you just had to have? Think it's time to pray. Yeah, I think it's time to pray. Do you ever think of something and it makes you feel bad? When you have them thoughts, it makes you feel sad. Think it's time to pray. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to pray. Yeah, he was just standing there, hat in his hand in the old town square. Here's my chance to say the words I want him to hear. Have you ever wanted something that you wanted real bad? Have you ever wanted something? Can I call you Dad? I think it's time to pray. Think it's time to pray. Everybody's got problems and I finally hit bottom, I'm here to say. When you think it's all over, there's a new beginning on its way. I was looking for some healing and I found some revealing just the other day. Think it's time to pray. Think it's time to pray. that you want it real bad. I wanna say I love you. Can you hear me, Dad? I think it's time to pray. Yeah, I think it's time to pray. He's walking by me every single day. I get emotional and I wanna say I love you, Dad, but you keep running away from me. Everybody's got problems and I finally hit bottom. I'm here to say, when you think it's all over, there's a new beginning on its way. I was looking for some healing and I found some revealing just the other day. Think it's time to pray. Think it's time to pray. Get down on your knees and pray.
The Eagles Make-A-Wish ride takes off out of Augusta, Maine's Eagles Club and travels from Eagles Club to Eagles Club, where they are presented a check that is donated towards the Make-A-Wish ride. And then they return to the Eagles Club in Augusta, Maine.
That you want it real bad. Have you ever wanted something you just had to have? Think it's time to pray. Yeah, I think it's time to pray.
What we did in Jackman, last year we did around $1,400. Rhonda, I'm proud to tell you we doubled it. In Jackman, I'm gonna present you with a check of $3,115.
All right, I'm here with Kathy Langless, and she is from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. She is a volunteer for Make-A-Wish, and we are here for the Lewis family today because they actually were recipients last year, and you were the one that made all of that happen for them. And I want to know how it came to be that you got to meet them.
Sure. I volunteer as a wish granter, and I actually got chosen to be Jaden's wish granter because I live in this area, and he was actually one of 6 wishes I was granting at the same time. And my partner Sherry and I, we went to meet the Lewis family, and we talked to them, and obviously Jaden is non-communicative, so he couldn't tell us what his wish would be. Normally we take the child in a separate room and we kind of find out what their wish is versus mom and dad's wish. Sometimes they don't
let's
match.
talk about that, because since he's unable to communicate and express himself, how did you figure out that Disney was the thing for him?
Well, in a situation like Jaden's, and in a lot of family situations, it's not just the child that needs a wish granted. The whole family is affected. And when the Lewises thought about going to Disney, what they really asked for in the beginning was they wanted him to be in warm weather in the winter months. That was their wish. And so we talked to them about Give Kids the World, a beautiful resort outside of Disney that is for families like the Lewis families, and they could just hang out there the whole week in the pools and the sun and enjoy the place. But in addition to that, they got tickets to go to Disney and they got tickets to go to other amusement parks, but their main wish for their child was for a week of sunshine in the middle of the winter.
Yeah, speaking to them prior to the cameras rolling here so that I could get to know the Lewis family, they had expressed to me that cold weather seems to be a real issue with Jaden. He gets miserable, he gets sick, and it's hard on them and him, of course. He's unable to express what's happening to him. All they can do is try to keep him warm, comfort him as much as possible. You know, I was standing on the sidelines watching the interview with the Lewis family while Sherry was talking with them, and I was talking to a gentleman next to me, and I was watching Jaden as the interview was going on, and I couldn't help but think mic, that he could hear every word that was being said and expressed. And I'm wondering just how much of that was being absorbed and how frustrating it must be to not be able to just jump into the conversation. You know what I mean? Do you have any ideas to just what Jaden can comprehend?
Well, it's interesting because when we met with him, there were certain things that he would smile at when we were talking, or if his sister sits on his lap, he smiles and he laughs. He loves his siblings. He loves bright colors and things. So I think that he may, I definitely believe he hears us, but he probably comprehends it much like a toddler would, but he can't verbalize it. The nice part about having a wish is the child has something to look forward to. They want to do this. They have hope for it. They might do it at the end of their treatment or in the middle of their treatment, but it gives them something to look forward to, and often that draws them through their treatment. But it is not. It's not for terminally ill children.
Right.
It's for life-threatening or terminally ill.
Right.
So it's nice that families like Jaden's can get together and have this experience.
This program is absolutely wonderful, and for those of you who are sitting here watching this that may know a family that could utilize or use a special wish like this, go to makeawish.org. For those of you who are watching that would like to contribute or maybe even organize an event where you raise funds to help support this wonderful program, then please go to makeawish.org and make those contacts happen so that you can better somebody's life, basically.
Absolutely. And this year, we're up to 98 wishes in the queue right now. Last year, we had 74. We're now in the beginning of August, and we already have 98. The average cost of a wish is $6,000, but many are more expensive, so any donations are greatly, greatly appreciated.
So there you go, folks. You heard it from her. It's, the need is growing, and your help would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Kathy, for taking a few minutes with me. I really appreciate it. I got Rhonda with me, and I got my host, Sherry, having some chicken. Somebody threw me a bone. I'm going to gnaw down on this thing while I interview these people. Rhonda is the organizer of this event. How did you feel it went today?
I think it went awesome. We had a lot of people show up. The weather held out till at least the guys got back. Unfortunately, we ended up having some heavy rain and wind, and the band got rained out, and some of their equipment got ruined, and feel really bad for that. We spoke with them. We did give them a donation of $200 to hopefully take care of some of their cost. But
yeah, the band is called RAW, which stands for what, Sari?
Right amount of wrong.
That's right, and they're a great group of guys. They volunteered their time to do this for me when I contacted them. Awesome group of people. Unfortunately, they weren't able to play. We understand, right?
Yeah.
I mean, their equipment is expensive. Hopefully they can salvage whatever they can.
Well, they weren't able to play, but they are going to sing a song without music and dedicate it to Tom.
There you go, Tom Dorsey. This ride is also in memory of Tom Dorsey, who used to help Rhonda out quite a bit, right?
yeah, Tom started the ride with me 8 years ago now. He was like my left hand, right hand. He helped me with everything, actually. I miss him a lot. It was a special event for him, and I know he's up there watching us and raining down on us.
Boy, it did rain. I had
Hurricane Tom.
Yeah.
It was Hurricane Tom.
Yeah, I had to break away from the group this morning after our preliminary interviews or early morning interviews. I had a Bikers Against Bullying table to man up at the Elks Club, and that's like a festival going on with music all day. And there was an average of about 50 people showing up to this event throughout the day, so it was pretty good. We got to meet a lot of people and talk to them about bullying, which is always nice. You know, this is your 8th year, you said, already? Yes. 8 years, you know. Yes. This is 8 years for Ridin Steel, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. You've been right there. You, Sherry, and Dan been right with us all the way.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to know that they raise on the average about $10,000 a year, and they get to send 1 to 2 children away on a very special vacation kind of thing where the whole family gets a break from, the experience of dealing with a handicapped child. Right, exactly.
Yeah, they just get a break from reality. They go and they're allowed to be a family and just have fun with none of the worries or none of the treatments and none of the doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that being said, the Lewis family that we met this morning, they have a son that cannot communicate. He cannot express himself. But, and the challenges of that means that they have nurses coming into their home every day. To have any normalcy in their lives is a struggle. So what you do, Rhonda, is amazing. It really is. You contribute to a very special program. And, you're an angel. That's what you are, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you ever think anybody would call you an angel?
Never.
Well, I just did. And Sherry here, she's been kind of low this year on the show, but she's, don't see much of her. But today she made it for the Eagles Make-A-Wish ride, and I really appreciate what you've done for us. And so Sherry's going to be introducing you to the band that never got to play today, but I think that they deserve to be recognized for what they do. So
I absolutely do too. They came here, they donated their time, and they are all gung-ho, and we got a rain check.
There you go. So, folks, stay tuned. Sherry will be talking with the people from Raw.
I will. This is Sherry, and welcome back to Ridin Steel. We are back from an incredibly wonderful ride for the Augusta Make-A-Wish Foundation, and today we did have a little snafu. Hurricane Tom showed up and decided to rain on our parade, so I am going to introduce you to Joe Hoffman, and please tell us about your band.
My band is called Right Amount of Wrong.
Right Amount of Wrong.
And I'm Joe Hoffman. I play guitar and I'm the lead singer-ish. This is the beautiful Jessie King. She is the lead singer of the band. This is Bobby King. He's the drummer. And that's Tarn Petty, who plays bass.
Not Tom Petty.
Not Tom, not to be confused with Tom. Tarn.
Unfortunately, today the weather kind of made it so we couldn't hear you, but I really do want to have something sung in memory of Tom, Simple Man, and if that's something that you would be willing to do.
Sure, as long as I can have a cheat sheet, that's fine.
This will be in honor of Tom, and I think this would be something special to, kind of remember him by, and I think everybody here would be super happy to hear that.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem.
Considering that the rain killed our chances of hearing Right Amount of Wrong, they have so graciously offered to sing a song called Simple Man in honor of Tom Dorsey.
Mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say, and if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. I will. Well, take your time, don't live too fast, troubles will come.
All right, Sherry, we are nearing the end of our show here for today. The 8th annual Make-A-Wish ride obviously was a great success. It did thunder shower and hail actually came down, and the riders made it through it all. They got soaking wet. The band got rained out. Their gear, some of their gear may be damaged. We hope not, but we'll see. We'll hear from them. But Joe and the guys from Raw, they're a wonderful group of people. They are, they came here ready to go, all set up, and everything just closed down, but yet they have a good attitude.
They do. They have a wonderful attitude. They were setting up when we drove in, and the rain came and took their tent over there.
And that was the end of that. Sherry, thank you so much for taking care of today's show. Again, this was the 8th annual Make-A-Wish ride in memory of Tom Dorsey, who passed away from a heart attack last year. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, and join us next week on Ridin Steel.
They will pass. You'll find a warm